Hi, this is Dan with UserSpice.com, and I'm doing another debugging with Dan. This comes from the forum where basically, if you are in the email settings, right now the way it works is you can go to the dashboard, go to your email settings. If you go to the email settings and you test them, it doesn't save them before it tests them. It just basically, I don't really know what I was thinking. I designed a really neat test, but it doesn't actually save your settings before going to the test page. And so user PLB, who has been great at finding bugs and really good at actually helping fix some of them, pointed this one out, and I told him I would get to it and I would make a patch for it. So let's go ahead and do that right now. The first thing I want to do, though, before we actually get to coding, is to just give you a little bit of one thing I do is I like to release these patches where I only update the files that have been changed. So I like to make a changed something like change files.txt or something like that, and admin users.php just to remind myself that I changed that file. I could do it through Get or something like that, but I do use Get, but I like to just kind of keep a manual record of what it is I've changed. And I'll go ahead and do. I know I'm going to be changing email settings.php, so let's go ahead and save that. Since we're also talking about how I do patches, one thing that's really easy to forget is to come in here to the includes and to change the UserSpice version to 4.1.4. And so this is going to make it nice and easy that when I go ahead and make a patch, I know which files I have to include. And so UserSpice is another file that we've changed. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this for a second, and just to remind you what this looks like. There's a button up top here that is test your settings, and then this one at the bottom is part of this form, and it's called update email settings. So this is just basically a link. You can look down here at the bottom, and it's just sending you to emailtest.php. This is actually submitting the form. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over here to our code, and we're going to go to emailsettings.php, and you'll see that at the end of updating all the settings, we're just redirecting back to the same page, basically refreshing the same page. So what we're going to do, this is all the form stuff. We're going to go ahead and duplicate this line right here. This is the submit button, and we're going to change this to danger, which will make it red. And we're going to put this one update and test email settings. Now what we're going to do to differentiate these things is we're going to give them a name. And so we're going to call this one update only. And we're going to call this one name equals update and test. Okay, so what we're going to do, we can scroll up here right now, and we can I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. This is the one that's just the link, the test one, test your settings. We're going to go ahead and delete that. And we're going to use one of my favorite things in UserSpice, and it's one of those things that's listed under functions. And we're going to come in here, and we are going to DND, which stands for dump and dive. What it does a pre-formatted var dump of a variable, and then kills the page so that nothing else happens. So we're going to do DND post. And so we're going to just get an idea of what's coming back on post. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to come in here. I'm going to refresh the page, make sure I have the latest version. You'll see the button jump down to the bottom to update and test. Now what we basically did is we told it before it runs any of this updating code, kill the page and tell us what in the world you're trying to update. So if I were to come in here, and we'll just call this UserSpice 2, and hit this one, then we're going to see that I was trying to change this to UserSpice 2, and you also see that the button I pushed was the update only button. So that's really important to know, because now we have something that we can grab a hold to. So now if I come over here and I call this UserSpice 3 and I hit this one, then you can see that I have the update and test. And I was trying to update it to UserSpice 3. So that's going to give me something to kind of hook onto when I'm in here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll delete this line. And now what I'm going to do is come down to the very end where I was redirecting. So I can say, I can actually just make a little if statement. If $_ and then let's give it the what is it? Update. Let's do it this way. Let's do the logical. Let's do update and test. Then come through here, and we're going to give it to copy this email test.php, and else. So again, I'm sure if you're a better programmer than I am, you may have found a better way around that. But this is just a real simple. If you click the update and test, then you're going to get the you're going to run the full update query and then get redirected to the test. Otherwise, it's just going to refresh the page. So I'm going to save it, and just to show you that it's working, what we'll do is come in here and I'll change the name of UserSpice when I do this. So if I do 2 and update my email settings, then you'll see it changed to 2, and if I come in here to the actual database, it changed to UserSpice 2. If I come in here to UserSpice 3 and update and test the email settings, I'm redirected to the page that allows me to test the email settings, but in the database, I've also updated to 3, which proves that we've saved the settings and redirected over to the test. So easy peasy, 6.5, 7 minutes worth of work, and a little bug is fixed. We're going to give you some more email diagnostics coming up.